News coming in, the US Embassy in Israel has told its citizens it is unable to assist in evacuations. This is the US Embassy in Jerusalem, and I'm going to quote them here. The US Embassy is not in a position at this time to evacuate or directly assist Americans in departing Israel. The following is provided for your information as you make your own security plans. The Israeli Ministry of Tourism has begun operating shuttles to the Taba border crossing as of the 2nd of March. To be added to the passenger list for a shuttle, you must register via the ministry's evacuation form. The US Embassy cannot make any recommendation for or against the Ministry of Tourism's shuttle. If you choose to avail yourself of this option to depart, the US government cannot guarantee your safety. The information is provided as a courtesy to those wishing to leave Israel. Well, so as you can see, this is an advisory now, a statement coming out from the US Embassy in Jerusalem. What it essentially means is that the US Embassy is saying that it is in no position to help in the evacuations of Americans in Israel. They've left it to them now to find their way out. There is a suggestion there to use a shuttle that is being provided by the Israeli government. But once again out there, the claim, or rather the disclaimer, is that we cannot advise for it or against it. The bottom line here for now is that American nationals in Israel are on their own. It also leads to the larger question here of whether the US really thought through this conflict. Was there really a roadmap for them to follow? And this perhaps a small indication leading to those bigger questions. But for now, this is the latest we have for you. US tells Americans in the country to evacuate, but to find a way to evacuate themselves. They are in no position to help them at this time. That's the latest that we have for you. You also had Donald Trump speaking out some hours back. You've heard loud blasts being heard above the US Embassy in Saudi Arabia's Riyadh also on Monday night. There are consulates and missions also closing in other parts of the Middle East as a precaution after Iran has stated and warned that US nationals, US personnel, US installations, US establishments will be on their radar. They've also gone on to say you can hide, but we will find you. So after those warnings comes this statement from the US Embassy in Jerusalem, which of course is worrying for US nationals, isn't it? Aditya Rajkol joining us live from Tel Aviv. Aditya, essentially what this statement, this advisory, whatever you may call it, indicates is that US nationals in Israel have been left to themselves to fend for themselves at this point because the US Embassy is in no position to help them evacuate.
Well, that's right. It's a huge statement. Usually, US embassies or US Department of State does not issue such statements, but it is the helplessness that has perhaps resulted in this. The US Embassy in Jerusalem has, informed its citizens in America, and they have a branch office in Tel Aviv as well, that they are unable to help them at this particular stage. They're saying that the Department of Tourism of the Israeli government will be running shuttle buses to the Taba border crossing, that is with Egypt, and possibly there could be evacuation from that side. But as of now, there's a status quo. They have to fend for themselves. They need to take shelter and be safe by their own means by taking precautions. So US is unable to assist their own citizens in Israel at this particular stage. They cannot help them. They cannot even give any kind of consular services at this particular stage. So it is a kind of a status quo for the American citizens as well. Many of them are in Israel right now because they usually come. There are a lot of American Jews also who keep traveling here to Israel. So it is a huge statement coming in from the US Embassy in Jerusalem that they are unable to help their citizens, cannot assist at this particular stage. Perhaps there will be buses running to the Taba border crossing with Egypt. That's at the border crossing between Israel and Egypt.
Yes.
From there, perhaps they can take flights from Cairo.
The bigger question then, Aditya, also is if Donald Trump, the US, thought through this conflict before it started. Was there really a roadmap is the big question.
Well, there is a roadmap always whenever there is such kind of a conflict brewing, and perhaps US and Israel in this particular conflict had been planning for a very long time. In fact, for a few weeks now, or if not months, they had perhaps kept in mind that there would be citizens that would be stranded in many areas, but often there are situations that are beyond control. For instance, the attacks that have happened in several countries apart from Israel, from UAE to Saudi Arabia to Qatar, and in fact Bahrain and Kuwait also, apart from Oman, who have faced frequent missile attacks from Iranian side. And certainly it is a big development as US now says it's unable to help its citizens in Israel.
Okay, do stay